So we'll chant first. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahe Tejasvinavadhitamantu Vavedishavahe. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannuti Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwarah, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we are starting today with the Nyaya Sutras, fourth chapter, first part, and we are on to the 24th sutra. So we'll continue from here because last time we had finished the 23rd, I think, because we were earlier discussing about how cause and effect relationships work. Anything that has any effect will always have a cause, and therefore this 24th also we had discussed that cause and we are here discussing cause and no cause. Nimitta, animitta. So here it says cause and no cause, meaning nimitta and animitta. Nimitta animittayoho arthantar bhavat apratishedah. So earlier the one we had discussed in 23rd is he saying that anything can anything be produced from no cause, that is from nothingness. So we say that first of all, arthantar bhavat pratishedha, meaning that we have to clearly deny that cause and no cause can be identical, because whenever there is something that is like here example is given, a jar which is waterless cannot be at the same time be full of water, right? So from nothingness, nothing can be produced. Right, so that is the proposition. So since that is very clear to us that whenever anything is produced, there has to be a source. So in the world, anything that exists, there has to be a cause for that. But if there is a cause beyond, if there is something that is beyond these two, like when we discuss about Atma, then Atma is the source of everything, but yet it is not the cause, because everything is a superimposition, adhyasaha, upon the Atma. So therefore the Jagat is said to be just like a dream, right? So here we are next going to discuss the nature of the manifest universe, this very manifest universe that is there, and what are its characteristics, and how is it different from the Atma. Right, so there is a separation between what is truly eternal, that is nitya, that is Atma, because Atma cannot have parts. But the manifest world, it is obviously full of parts. So what is the nature of the manifest world? It's given here in the 25th sutra: sarvam anityam utpatti vinash dharmakatvat. This we have seen in Vedanta also. So this is where they borrow the logic from. Nyaya gives the logic for all of the Shastras, right? Where logic is needed, it has to be borrowed from Nyaya, be it Vaisheshik, be it Vedanta, be it Purmimansa, or Yoga or Sankhya. All of them borrow from here. So Sarvam Anityam Utpatti Vinash Dharmakatva. So we say everything that we can see, everything that is available for perception is everything that is available for perception has the nature of being born and being destroyed. or being born and dying, right? So utpatti and vinash, whatever has that dharma or that properties, that is all anityam. That is all temporary, right? Because we say that firstly we saw the two terms just in the few sutras back, that there is something called pragabhav and pradvansha bhav. So as an object does not exist before it is born. So before being born, it has no existence. And then after destruction also, it ceases to exist. That is pradhvansa bhav. So pradhvans is destruction. After destruction, there will be abhava of that object. So that means if there is abhav, we saw in the previous sutra 24th, that nothing can be produced from nothingness, right? So if there is the abhav of something, there is the absence of something before, and the absence of something will be after that. That means that the object is not produced from that abhav. From abhav, nothing can be produced. We have clearly shown earlier. So that means where has the object come from? It has come from a kind of a magic, Maya. It has come from a kind of projection. The object has no real existence of its own. Object has no real existence of its own. So that means if we see an object today in the world, that means it is just a projection. Like when we see any solid object, it is made up of all the composites, the atoms and the element, whatever makes it. But when we go deep into the atoms, then also we can see that those atoms themselves, we cannot visually see any of them. It is the combination of that atoms that makes that object appear. And then again, when we go into the atoms, we can see that uh, when we see those atoms, then we can clearly see that they are themselves composed of protons, electrons, neutrons. And then again, there if we see the electron, we try to see where it is. We cannot see. It is within everywhere in a cloud. It can be anywhere. So if something can be anywhere, that means it is dependent on motion for its existence. So again, we apply Heisenberg's principle, their science, if we use, then we can see that if we reduce the velocity of that object to zero, then it becomes infinite. Or if we reduce make the velocity infinite, then the object itself becomes zero or non-existent. So that means the object is just a projection. So we same theory we use in I just explained to you from modern scientific point, but if you look at it from the the earlier form, then everything comes from the panch tattvas, 5 elements. The 5 elements have two forms. One is the panchikrit form, that is visible to the perceiver. Then other is apanchikrit. So before it is the apanchikrit. So apanchikrit, panch mahabhut, panch mahabhut, the 5 elements. The unalloyed or the unmixed till panchikaran has not happened. And then before that is when they are coming from where? They are coming from the manas, mind, the vrittis of the mind. And then where is the mind coming from? It is coming from the three gunas. The three gunas, they produce the mind, intellect, mahat, buddhi, mana, ahankar. All of those are produced by from mahat. The mahat is the blueprint of the whole universe. So it is the roadmap, just like a seed is the blueprint of the tree, and from it the whole tree is produced. So in this way, all of these objects we can merge back into finally Prakriti. And then Prakriti is what? Prakriti is nature. Prakriti is what? Prakriti is again Jad. So whatever is Jadam, we saw Jadam Tat Mithya. Whatever is Jadam, it has to be non-eternal, or it does not have any existence of its own. So where does it borrow the existence from? Atma. So if it is borrowing the existence from Atma, that means that Atma cannot produce something that does not have any substance. So that means the object that we are viewing as is just a substance that is projected. It has no real existence. Because Atma also, we have to remember, is eternal, infinite, and without any parts. If it were with parts, then again Atma also will become same like this Utpatti Vinash Dharma. It would also have Utpatti Vinash Dharma. So that means Atma being eternal, though. So now here we are introducing a new term for the universe. For the visible universe, it has an eternalness of its own. उसमें भी एक नित्यता है. What is that nityata? If you remember from a little while earlier, the word we used, we call it pravahi nityam. The universe is eternal in the sense that the cycles of the universe will continue infinitely. It does not mean that if one being gets moksha, then the universe will disappear totally. Or if the Lord is if the Lord himself is there, who if we take him from the level of Brahman or Atma, then he is just projecting this universe. So we have to see that the projection that is being done by Ishvara is going to be there always, because there will always be Jivatmas, because the nature of the infinite is such that all finites exist within it in potential form. All finites exist within it in potential form. So it will, even though it cannot split into parts, it will keep projecting all different universes at different times according to the nature of the substances that are there, that are going to be projected. So the universe will keep on being projected. So that nityata is there in the objects. What is he saying here? Na, we said sarvam anityam utpatti vinash dharmakatvat. Everything that is that has the dharma or the property of utpatti and vinash, it is all anitya. It is all time bound. Right. So agreed to that. That the all the objects that they have the finite lifetime, so they are all anitya. So they are going to be destroyed at a point of time. But we say that this the object or the jivatma again will keep on coming to the universe with a different body, or with a different sukshma sharir and sthul sharir. They will continue. So that nityata is always there. So he says anityata na nityata anityatvat. So the anityata, the non-eternalness of the universe is a nitya phenomenon. It keeps on flowing. The flow of the universe never stops, even though all the substances within the flow of the universe, they are anitya. So then again there is a refutation for that. Tat anityam tat अनित्यत्वम अग्नेदाय विनाश्य विनाशय अनु vinashabdat. So just like fire destroys something, so fire destroys something. So in that way, vinashya anu vinashanvat vinashya anu vinashanvat. So anu is used for the smallest unit of matter, the atom. The atom. So just like an atom or something very small is destroyed by fire, or just like we can say, here the meaning is that Agni is what? Energy, right? So the smallest of matter, when it is acted upon by energy, then it converts, the matter also is slowly converted fully into energy. Huh. So it completely destroys the object, or it removes it from existence as a piece of matter. It changes into energy. So in this way, or if we understand it alternately also, we say that we are saying that the nityatvam that you're saying of the universe, it also goes into destruction at a time which we call pralaya. Pralayam. So in that pralayam, the whole universe goes into non-existent or potential mode. In that potential mode, no separate objects are detected. And then you can say that the universe is not available for perception. There is also no Jivatma who is existing, who will perceive that universe, because there is no visible objects. So what is the solution for that? So here, this 27th we have seen, I just had not brought it up here. So, tat anityatvam agnedaya vinashya anuvinashatvat. So, that non-eternalness uh, is non-eternal. So, he is saying that when you're talking about the pravahi nityam, that also at the time of pralayam, it disappears. All the objects disappear. So, nityasya pratyakhanam yatha uplabdhi vyavasthanat. So we are there. Here it is said there is no denial of the eternal. Nityasya prakhyanam. The topic that we were discussing about nityatvam, yatha uplabdhi vyavasthana, the its availability will always be there. Just like there is one universe, it goes into pralayam, another will also emerge. So that in that way, we are saying that the eternalness will still continue. So there is nityasya pratyakyanam yatha uplabdhi vyavasthana. So nityasya is nityata, the eternalness. So nityasya pratyakyanam, the statement that we are making or the observation we are making about nityatvam is yatha uplabdhi, that you cannot deny that there will always be availability of that. Yatha uplabdhi, uplabdhi is availability. There will always be uplabdhi of that vyavasthana, because there is a certain order to things. Just like there is the law of conservation of matter. So if there is that matter that is converted into what we call uh, total pralayam, in total pralayam, none of the matters exist, but it will exist as potential matter. So what is that potential matter? Like in today's language, we can use the term dark matter. So that dark matter will exist even though the visible matter is not there. So it's like everything is crushed and ground into space. Everything has been turned into space. So in this way, that nityata that we are talking about, if even if we say by the act of destruction by Agni, or the all the atoms are finally merged into that, because we are talking about the at the smallest level, anu here. I'm just going back to the 27th one. So vinash anu vinashatvat. If you see the last word, vinashya anu vinashavat. So all the smallest of atoms are destroyed in times of pralayam, but we say that nityata again persists even after that, because there is a system of cyclic universes. That is what Nyaya clearly proves, that there is a system of cyclic universes. Once something has a certain existence, or there is some any what we call law of conservation, then anything that has come into existence, even though it is there in the potential form, it will again start to build up a new world. Is it clear so far, George, Manisha, or am I missing something or something confusing? Do I need to sum
It's
it up?
clear.
Mhm.
It's clear. Perhaps maybe like sum it up. Maybe perhaps like, summarize everything.
Summarize, yeah. I can summarize these five so that we can get a broad picture, right? Manisha, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So we started with the assumption that firstly, I'll just go up if you like. So we started with the first assumption, like we see in Vedanta, that everything is non-eternal. Sarvam anityam. Everything is non-eternal because it has a property of being born and dying, right? Anything that is born and die, that means it is non-eternal. Very clear principle. Before that, also the principle from the previous class, that nothing can come out of nothingness, right? From no cause, nothing can come out. Very clear, I hope. Nothing can come out from
Yeah.
nothingness. Yeah. Okay. So then we say, okay, that is agreed. That's something that you call Atma is eternal, and this universe is non-eternal. But we want to also preserve the understanding of the universe as something that we call Pravahi Nityam. It is something that is an eternal flow of creation. The eternal flow of creation never ceases. That is being said here. So what happens here is we are saying that the non-eternalness of the objects is there, but the eternalness of the universe, because of law of conservation of matter or energy and whatever, or because of those laws, nothing goes totally out of existence. So we firstly a state is visualized. एक ऐसी अवस्था समझाई जाती है. One state is visualized where it is said that all the atoms also they are going into dissolution. The state of pralayam. In the state of pralayam, nothing is existing. Everything has gone into the nascent state, the basic state. Nothing is visible. All the atoms also dissolved. All the jivatmas also merge. Huh? But so there we can say that everything has ended. So we say that nityata that we are talking about, it will still persist. Why? Because nityasya pratyakhanam yatha uplabdhi vyavasthanat. That perception is there that a certain object has missed, and also the perceiver, the jivatma is not there. But because of the laws of conservation, that means that even though the nityata that we are talking about, it cannot be denied because the objects are still available in a potential state. So there will be another universe in creation after Pralayam. That is also accepted in all Shastras. Huh? It is there in the Puranas, it is there in the other itihasas like Ramayana, Mahabharata. There is a description of cyclic universe. One universe merges, pralaya happens, and then another happens. In our universe also, we know that in current cycle of this is the 51st cycle of Brahmaji. This is 51st year. So every day of Brahmaji has witnessed the of this current Brahmaji. There are so many infinite Brahmajis before that. But this Brahmaji is now 51 years old. And every day that Brahmaji goes to sleep,
young he is.
how young he is. So every day Brahmaji goes to sleep, that is a pralayam, one cycle of one universe ending. And then the next day he wakes up, the other universe starts. And that is so many, that is so trillions of years. Not trillions, but many billions, I think. Yeah, so I have the exact calculation we have discussed sometime earlier also. So this pralayam, when it happens, all the objects merge into the nascent state or the potential state, and then again that from that nascent state, all the objects will come. They will all come out again and create a new universe. All the jivatmas are still there in the potential state. When the time comes for them to live out their karmas, whatever karmas that are going to bear fruit for them, they will then be again born again. So you see, every jivatma has certain done a huge set of karmas. The time that they become ripe for experience, that is the time that is given for the next lifetime for that jivatma, and in that jivatma will live out those fruits and then again go die and go into the next body. Right? So that is for one jivatma, but there will be one time when the whole universe will have exhausted its karma. So when do we go to sleep? When we go to sleep, when we have exhausted our karma for the day. When we have exhausted our karma. So when we have exhausted, then we are totally tired and go to sleep. Sometimes we have not exhausted the karma for the day. So then what happens? Our mind is still working, and then we can't go to sleep. Neend nahi aati. We stay awake late at night. Right? So that is the state when the full pralayam is not coming. So in this case of the universe, there will be a time when all the jivatmas will at one time merge into the eternal, infinite, and then again there will be fresh creation. So further about the law of conservation, we go into the next sutra. So is it clear now so far, George, Manisha? Is the
Yes.
summary, it work, did the summary work for you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because individually sometimes when we look at a sutra, we lose track of the previous one because there is a connection between them. So sometimes maybe I fail to establish the connection. So it is good that you asked, because then we can, see them as one. So Sarvam Nityam Panchabhut Nityatvat. So some also say that everything that we see is Nitya only, because the five elements are Nitya. Because the five elements we say are the material cause of everything. They will exist in their whatever state they are. So if they are in the Panchikrit avastha, then they are in the visible state. That means they are creating a visible world. A visible world is available. And when they are in the apanchikrit avastha, when they have not combined, then they are in the state of also pralayam. So actually those five elements we say are eternal. So that means that the objects that are born out of them, uh, born out of them are again available for perception so we say sarvam nityam panchbhut nityatvat. We the you can say the opponent wants to establish that when you are talking about individual objects, they are also nitya only, because they are coming from a nitya cause. Anything that is coming from nitya cause will also be nitya. That is also another rule, right? So, by that logic, that the elements themselves are eternal, then you can say that the uh, whole universe is eternal. So we say no, this is not right. In the 30th sutra, na उत्पत्ति विनाश कारण उपलब्ध है. So we say that all things are non-eternal because we see them produced or destroyed. Huh? We see their production and destruction. So whatever is produced and destroyed is non-eternal. So another way of looking at this is that when we remember the full cycle of production and destruction, the five elements again merge back into the mind, man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, into the man, then finally into the buddhi, that is the mahat buddhi, the intellect of the full universe, and then finally going back into prakriti. So up to prakriti also we've seen prakriti also is non-eternal. So ultimately the basis from where all these elements have arisen is also non-eternal. So we cannot say the five elements are eternal, even though we apply the law of conservation of matter, but that matter itself stays in the state of another object, which is finally is said to be non-eternal, because prakriti